Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Dededecline, filling in for Osiris tonight. This is Chewy. This is Mechs on deck. Welcome, everyone.
Oh man, hello. Can y'all hear everything? Because
We can have had a baby by now.
we could have, Gnarly Charlie, for you. Thank you, and thank you to Brez for the 20 months. Holy fuck,
20
dude.
months, that's
20,
crazy.
That's a lot of time. It's a 40s show for sure. We'll talk. we'll talk about it.
It is now.
It is now, yeah. I've been spending too much time with Dededecline. We'll get to that later. Guys, Osiris is out, oddly enough. So he was supposed to get, we'll talk about this a little bit, but he was supposed to get the Johnson & Johnson shot today. And for those who don't know, it got recalled because Osiris looking weird today. We were talking, I got an email actually from work that was like, hey, they're like stopping this because 6 people have had like blood clot issues. And I sent him a link and I was like, did you see this? And he's like, I'm on the way there. And then like 2 minutes later, it was like, he's like, I just got a call saying they canceled it. And I'm like, all right. But I was like, I told him, I was like, dude, just take the day. Like Dede and I have already discussed like what we're going to talk about and all that stuff. And every now and then, sometimes you just need a day. Streaming, at the end of the day, we all love streaming, but sometimes having a day off is just like, you need it.
Yeah, taking that day is way better than like crashing and burning and being like, I can't do this anymore, or just not enjoying it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're still going to be doing Keyboard of the Week. We're still going to go through our brackets. We do have a topic tonight. Not so spicy of a topic, more of just some open discussions. And I guess if you want to say spicy, we're going to be talking about small keyboards for a minute. But
Those are always spicy.
oh, yeah, of course. But first off, I want to give a shout out to our awesome sponsors, OmniType, Candy Keys, Project Keyboards, and Kinetic Labs, as well as our amazing partners, Zap Cables, Type B, Smith & Rune, 3D Keybs. We'll hear more from them later. Let's get started with a mail day and what is on your desk.
Go for it.
So I didn't, I got some cool mail. Let's see. I got some Artisans, which I believe is what you got too.
Yep.
So, if you guys never saw it, Hellbent was gracious enough to provide us with. I've already forgotten the names of all of these.
That's the Golden Boy.
Golden. I know this is the Golden, but these are all Golden Boys. So he did a raffle and just to hook us up. He's a local friend. Like I literally met him in a Kroger parking lot. Got these. I got these. These were run during the raffle during our 24-hour stream, so thank you. And then I actually won a. He did his little like trivia challenge, and I spent like 40 minutes looking it up, and I found it. I found the clues, and I won it. So, Heady Days and Marshmallow, thank you. So I've got 4 Golden Boys now. I've got more than half my row. It's getting pretty full. And this bottom row, there's a lot of artisans that are like being used currently, so it's getting up there.
I always struggle with what to do. Like when I take artisans to put on boards, I'm like, do I leave those spots empty in the box? Do I fill those back in because it kind of bothers me? That's always been my struggle. So
I've got 3 or 4 on a board, and then my wife. So those are not all mine. That's a combination of mine and my wife's. And she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13 in use right now. So we've definitely filled the box. Now I, just before we ever even, because I'm sure I said this, I was like, I'm not going to go past 1 box. My wife is getting a box. So it counts.
I like your loophole.
The loophole counts.
That's a lot better than my loophole, which is I'm getting a 120 artisan box. So it's still one single box.
It's just one box.
Just one box.
I'm only going to get 1 shelf of shoes.
Exactly.
I never said how big the shelf was going to be. So, and then on my desk, I brought out the old tried and true. The Baka 60, not polycarb because that doesn't exist yet. Number 1, nice patina. I still have no idea what happened over here. That was whatever. Mizu, got a Lividity Observer cap. It actually matches one of my favorite pairs of Jordan 1s. But it also matches Mizu. So it was kind of a happy accident, if you will. So that's what is on my desk. What did you get in the mail, and what is on your desk?
I also had Artisan Mail days this past week.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know if I can show all of these at once. I'm going to go a few at a time. So these are today's, actually. I had a Keyforge win, my first one in a while. I feel like Keyforge doesn't do too many raffles these days, but
Ooh.
I also got the GSK Polybius cap.
Ooh.
Which, yeah, the colors look really good in person. They're not coming through very well on camera, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous cap. I'm very excited. As if I needed a reason to want another set of Polybius, I'm like, great, I've got the archetype Polybius cap. I've now got the GSK one. I feel like I might just need another set of Polybius for them. And then I also got these Lividity caps, which I'm a huge fan, especially of the Observer.
The Observer is so good. It's probably one of my top 3 now.
I think so too. Like, of my top, it's definitely in my top 5, maybe in my top 3. Also going in my top 3 now is the Bean by Deeg. This is the aesthetic Bean. Matches my hat right now really well, actually.
And the nails.
And the nails. It also matches the nails. I am obsessed with this Bean. He also included some stroopwafel in the package, and I messaged him and was like, dude, you included an artisan with my stroopwafel shipment. You are the best. Super appreciate it.
I love it.
And on my desk actually has another artisan that I had come in this past week. This is my Squid 60.
What have you done?
You got that beautiful ortho PCB in there, but we also have the Goth Caps Taro cap. So good. So good.
Sorry. I don't know.
Hey, it's your board, you know. Squid was your design. Give that all you want.
It's a really cool. It's cool to see like the board. It's taking on, and we'll talk about how the Squid and Baka has taken on its own thing. Mutating. It is mutating. So for those who don't know, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone who purchased a polycard Baka. I just very happy with the numbers. We sold exactly 69 boards. I literally can't make that up. So I mean, yeah, 100% nice. Thank you, G. Willard. So yeah, very, very nice. Number them again? No, because then the person who gets it's going to have the most expensive Baka 60 polycarbonate. I mean, maybe I just number his and his alone.
It's going to get flipped for 2,000.
Flip for $2,000. So didn't sell out, but it hit MOQ. There's a lot of awesome 60% boards that are going on right now, especially the Fiel. Like, I'm not going to, you know, it happens. That board was not, that kind of came out of nowhere. Like the Baka 60 polycarb was something that just like literally blind hit me up. And he was like, do you want to run a group buy? Like, we got a lot of time before the Baka 70. I was like, I already have the files. Let's just do a polycarb run. Let's do it lighter. Let's ditch the brass weight. Let's put an aluminum weight. Let's make something you can throw in your backpack. I mean, I know that the fucking Squid 60 and the Baka 60, it's not the most travel friendly. It is, in fact,
not unless you also want a weapon.
Yeah, like traveling. A blunt object.
Yeah.
Right on it with Sharpie. Absolutely. So just thank you first and foremost, everyone who purchased it. I will give an update probably tomorrow. Work was work today. Yeah, I took mine upstairs for photos and it was heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. So work was work, so I didn't get a formal like update out, but I'll update. And then I get to do my favorite part of group buy running, which is telling people, don't bother me for 2 months, 60 days. Boards cannot be made in 60 days. So just give me a sec. I promise I'm not running. I show my face 2 to 3 times a week on stream, so I haven't run away with your money. Yeah, but where are they exactly? So today, I won't, unless he's here, I won't shout out exactly who said it because I was sent a layout and they're like, what do you think about this? It was kind of a meme because I'm not a 40s user. I have nothing against 40.
Like it had started a few days ago. I feel like someone mentioned it a couple days before in your server too.
Probably. And because the main joke is, when's the Baka 65 coming out? And I'm just like, never. But so essentially in like a 1 hour time period, my partner in crime, Blind Assassin, I see this kind of like, I responded and I was just like, quick LOL, that's funny, ha ha ha. And then Blind just goes and fucking makes it. He's like, I'm just kind of bored. Let's see how it goes. And I see the side profile and I see the size. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm not going to proto this. I'm not going to put money into this. Who's this guy and why is he in my spot? This is, it's actually Mechs on Dededecline.
Completely different show now.
Huge difference. I should have like drawn in on the logo, like up there. And just
I just
like,
need to get like an Osiris cardboard cutout.
And so it kind of was like, it just quickly was like, I'm not going to proto this. I'm going to make like 15 of these. Osiris TV, thank you for supporting Mechs on Deck. So the Baka 40 became a thing. And I think a lot of this came from, for those who don't know, the Baka 70, we're still in prototyping phase. The board's basically done being milled. I've still got to get PCBs ordered because it does have to use its own proprietary PCB, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if you want to start doing fun stuff with layouts, you have to make a PCB. And Dededecline and my other friend Jinly Bean were kind of like, this will be a really cool ortho, like, huh. And of course I was like, okay, you know what? Let's ask the question that's going to tear me down this rabbit hole, which is, can you make this an ortho layout? He was like, well, actually, yes, I can. So it turned very quickly. You finally got rid of Osiris. When are we gonna do like beards and boards, Quakums? Like, when's the beards and boards podcast? Beards, brews, and boards. So, yes, there will be a Baca 70 ortho linear layout for those interested. For the like 10 people that are gonna get it, maybe
That's
more. I
very
don't
generous.
know. Yeah, exactly. So it will happen. It will not be. It's just going to run right alongside. It's going to be basically the same thing. But the Baca 70 is still in the making. But the Baca 40 quickly became a thing, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore.
I told him earlier, like, now you can confidently, like, truthfully say you would run a 40% before you would run a 65. I also think that's how the best 40% boards are made is, haha, wouldn't this be a funny joke? Oh, oops. I made it in Fusion. Oops, here's a PCB for it. I guess we're doing it.
Will the Baca 40 have split space? No.
It will not.
It will not. We had a long discussion. I said, you know what? Because it was tearing up that bottom row. And
it was not a solvable problem, unfortunately.
yeah, we tried. We did try.
Y'all know me. I would not give up on split space unless it just wasn't going to happen.
It was being hard. It was being difficult. And we were like, well, let's. And I said, and I even said this publicly in my service. To me, what makes a Baca, one is the side profile, obviously, because that's the whole fucking design look of the board. Big ass fucking weight, which, trust me, it's a big ass fucking weight. When keyless blockers, I don't care what layout. The when keyless 1U blockers will be there. And the board, and kind of in tradition with the Baca 60, the plate needs to be more brass than holes. And after looking, I saw one picture of what the bottom might look like, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, nope. So I don't know. I have no timelines. It will not be before May 10th. I will not have 2 sales of a board. Now, this is going to be basically through Discord. This will not be through 3D Cubes. Shout out to 3D Cubes, by the way. She made the whole experience of this weekend really great. And I'm very excited to be working with 3D Cubes on the Baca 60. This one is definitely, it's only like, wait, is everyone a mod here on Mechs on Deck? No, if you're looking at the left side, the MOD, that's just our new logo. I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, I'm going to be running this personally because 15 boards I can confidently knock out in like an afternoon with my wife.
It's a public-private group.
Yeah, it's public. I mean, I might raffle them. Like I might, if there's enough interest, I might just have to raffle them. I have no idea about anything else. I don't know what the price is going to be. I don't know. I barely know. It's going to be one color. Don't know the color yet. So all I know is the one that I'm going to get is going to have ePBT aesthetic on it.
Hey.
Photos anywhere of the design? Maybe. Tune in. Stay tuned. So yeah, it should be neon pink. Honestly,
Be pretty sick.
I'd be okay with it. Although maybe I'd just make it bright orange because that's my least favorite color. It is not
to pair with your least favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no! When I never make a 65%, it'll be bright orange. It is not ortho. The Baca 70 will be ortho. This is kind of, at this point, it's basically kind of a funny little, like, I mean, yeah, it's a fucking meme keyboard, like, but I am sure there are some people that are like, oh fuck yeah, dude, heavy ass keyboard, 40%. Like I know DD's happy. So.
I'm that person.
Mason Gray, you nailed it right on the head. So, but yeah, that's the news. Also, I have SA Godspeed finally shipping to me. Like I have now it keeps saying USPS is awaiting the order. I'm like, yep, that's of course they are. But hopefully
at least it's not FedEx.
Yeah, thank God. So let's talk about the topic at hand. 5G meetups. So the world is trying to go back to normal. And the hobby has seen exponential growth in the last year. In the last 13 months, 14 months, we've seen quite a bit. We went into Chinese New Year last year not realizing that the whole hobby was going to come to a grinding halt for a moment.
While also growing a tremendous amount.
Oh yeah, like it grew. The demand went through the fucking roof, and supply plummeted. How much would you charge for a custom weight plate for the Baka 60? I'm not gonna do custom weights, custom plates. You might just have to find somebody. I don't really have a service to offer for that. But it brings up an interesting point of what will meetups look like. We've talked about this some before, but we're going to dive a little more into it because now a lot of people are being vaccinated.
Yeah. It's actually funny. There was some conversation about this in like the Seattle Discord server earlier today, and someone said, I don't know if I want people touching my boards even in a like, a little bit past COVID world. And it's an interesting thought of like, that's not an unreasonable thing, I don't think. Like, I get why people feel that way. And it's an interesting like aspect of how will this linger in the hobby. Like when we go to meetups, even when we've got to the point where most people are vaccinated, it's really not that big of a problem. Will we continue wearing masks? Are we going to start wearing gloves when we're handling boards? Are meetups going to shrink in attendance?
Yeah, and well, it's the big thing. In my opinion, I think as the hobby went to Discords and splintered up into Discords, I think I firmly believe that that meetups will kind of go that way. I think there's going to be the big ones. There's going to be the ones that people sadly can't go to because there might just not be enough space. The hobby, KeyCon, if KeyCon were to run at the end of the year, I'd be willing to bet 5 digits worth of people are going to be trying to go, or at least wanting to go. And it gets to the point where it's like, now we have to charge tickets, and now we got people who have to supply down payments and all that. And I just don't think that those huge meetups, at that point, it's so big that it might be too much, right? Is it going to be too much? We've got, I am not one of them, but we've got Nathan Kim and Apiary and Alex Odos, who are fucking celebrities now of this hobby. They're people that I saw it a little bit at NorCal. Like, I was having a discussion with Nathan Kim, and someone literally walked in front of me and was like, "Can you please sign my keyboard?" And he was just like, okay. I was like, all right. Well, and like, I saw it a little bit, right? A lot of people want to talk to him. It's just that much more now. It's, right. That was late 2019. We're in early 2021. He's only gotten bigger. He's only gotten more well-known. He's producing more and more YouTube content as well, which is only growing his fan base. So like, I mean, at this point, kind of sucks that he might not be able to enjoy the meetup the way he wants to. And as well as the same goes for Apiary and Alex Odos. I don't know if they're going to be able to enjoy meetups like the rest of us.
I think it's an interesting point. And I think what we're going to see is we're going to see the large meetups in the large cities grow. The ones that can handle them. I think, NorCal, NYC, Seattle. I think we'll continue to see those try to handle the larger population. I think we'll see a lot of smaller meetups because, like, even in smaller cities, bigger towns, there's now a sizable population where you could have meetups. There's enough people around. But I think what we'll also see is, on top of people going to the larger, like, say, Seattle meetup, you'll also have a lot of smaller ones around that. People will be like, cool, let's, like, go hang out for a few hours at the large meetup, and then, like, let's go to someone's place and, like, grill and do our own mini meetup where we can, like, chill more, have space to breathe, and not feel like everyone is in our faces, stuff like that. I think that's kind of how things are going to move.
Yeah,
Is like
and
almost an after party.
yeah, I mean,
kind of.
honestly, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And that's how, I mean, that's how it was at NorCal. It's like there was a couple different like groups kind of going here, there, and everywhere. And like the first night, we all kind of met up before. And Top Clock, of course, I will. Quake. I know this is Quake. I mean, I'd sign both of y'all's, but keyboard flex and chill, absolutely. But I mean, that's kind of how it is now, and it's just going to be. But now it's even bigger because now it's like these fucking after parties are going to be 40, 50 people because you got friends of friends, and you don't want to leave anybody out, and
But they will be the size of like old meetups.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the last Dallas meetup I went to was tiny. Now it was in a much bigger space, but honestly, I'm not going to say who ran it, but I don't think they ran it as well as they could. I understand the position they were in because they were like, oh, we can't have certain number of people and trying to do it for free. So they stopped advertising. They started telling people like, don't come, which was rough. That meetup was not the best. It was probably the worst one I've been to. But the cool thing was all the Dallas people that we've met through Mechs on Deck, we went to a bar afterwards, had a great time. It was... we met up at like a hot dog place right before as well. So it was, you don't go to, like, if you want to have a meetup to go type on keyboards, that's still there. Those meetups are still going to be there. And that's great for the people that are like, I just want to type on boards. That's awesome. But for people that are, we'll call it privileged, call it what it is, like the two of us and streamers that get to build lots of different boards, I'm not going to go type on a bunch of different boards. I might go to go see like, oh, there's the keycap set I've never seen in person, or oh, there's that. But like my time, I might go hit up the vintage boards because that's always a fun time. But there's the time I've spent typing on boards, the first 3 meetups versus the last couple, vastly different because it wasn't anything that I was like super duper interested in. Artisan keycap stalking, exactly. It wasn't something I was more interested at the NorCal meetup. I got to talk to Jorge from Keycult for like 45 minutes uninterrupted. It was great. We talked about design. We talked about, them kind of doing their jumping off point into Keycult and all that stuff. And it was just, and we just started talking about like TV shows and stuff. It was just good to talk to them. Hopefully I'd be able to talk to Keycult again because they're celebrities now too. But
I was going to say you probably can't get 45 minutes at a meetup with them again.
Not with him. But and we've talked about we've got our close circle. Mechs on Deck has its close circle of friends, and I'm sure Top Clock has its close circle of friends, and we've even talked about like let's just go let's like meet up and not do keyboards. Don't bring your keyboards. But if we do in Dallas keyboards, that's when it's like, okay, like 3D Cubes was talking about. It's like, I know Drifting Bunnies lives nearby. And he did the Austin and the Forever 65. And the collection of keyboards just in the Dallas area, I know is enough to make people be like, fuck yeah, let's go try out some keyboards. We're very fortunate to be in this area where there's just a lot of people, but it kind of really depends on why are you going to the meetup. Are you going to the meetup for keyboards? If you are, that's great, but understand that it's going to be packed, and understand that you might you're I always go back to the Houston meetup that I went to where the guy was going around taking notes, and I was like, that's the smartest man in this room. This guy is...
You're going to forget all the things you tried.
You're going to type on something. You're like, oh, what was on that? What was on that? What was on... Take pictures. Take notes. It's a great learning experience. Eric and I talk about this all the time. Really feel out your spacebar stabs. Because there are people that say they're good at spacebar stabs, and there are people that are actually good at making their stabs feel good. And you will easily know the difference there.
True.
So we were so excited at the Houston meetup. We were so excited to type on what was that called? The Koyu by Rama. We were super duper excited to talk about that or type on that.
That was the big hype board at the time, right?
Oh yeah, and it just started shipping. Secret of Sandpaper versus Lube. There you go. And there he is, the Rick himself. But it was like the stab was like all over the place. It was rough, and I'm like, learn, like, and the best way you can do with stabs is practice, learn. It sucks that you can't go and be like, oh, that's what a good stab feels like, because we were fortunate enough to kind of feel. I knew 001 Anthony. I got to try out a lot of his boards, and it was like, oh, now I know what to strive for. Now I know what to go for. So meetups are still incredibly important for those who don't get the opportunity to try a lot of things. But honestly, you might have better luck and more time and more ability to do these at some of these smaller meetups. Now, if you live in like, BFE, then you might be a little bit more SOL. But I encourage people to go to the smaller meetups. If it's a couple hours away, just plan ahead. Make a night of it. Meetups are a lot of fun for both reasons. So, and you get to meet people. So,
yeah, I think there's also an interesting component of like we mentioned earlier that the hobby grew a lot because of COVID. Everyone was stuck inside, wanted an indoor distraction, and keyboards are a really good one. You can spend your money, build stuff. There's a whole community here, and you don't have to leave your house for like any of it. So it'll be interesting to see like how the hobby changes as some people might lose interest, focus on other stuff. Will we see less sets running? Will we see less interest in those keycap sets and boards? That's like a whole other component to the like COVID wave we've had of people entering this hobby, and I don't know quite what to expect as far as people exiting versus staying versus being more passively involved.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see, like you said, once meetups start happening, I think Mech Market's going to have a fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
Because
there will be certain boards and sets that people are like, oh shit.
Yeah,
this feels
looks
so good.
Insane. This on a polycarb board looks amazing. This, I can't believe. I can't believe the Squid 60 is so good. No.
I can't believe it's so heavy. I need one right now.
I'm gonna like if I ever bring the Baka and Squid boards to a meetup, I'm like, you're allowed to lift. I'm gonna bring like, I need someone to 3D print me like a little me with a yardstick standing there and be like, this is the max height I would like you to pick this board up, but I understand that you're gonna want to go, oh shit, that's heavy, because a lot of boards are but then that goes back to the like, do I want this many people touching my boards? Like how would you prepare? Like for me, I would totally be okay bringing them because I know I'm probably not going to go around typing on them, but you bet your ass when it's time to pack up, gloves on, I'm pulling all the keycaps off, and I'm cleaning those fuckers. I'm gonna leave one board at home that I can use, and I'm cleaning fucking everything on every single board. And I honestly suggest to everyone to do that, because if you're going, even if COVID is a thing of the past, that's something we should all be doing anyway. Like I hope we don't get rid of the idea that like maybe don't spread germs everywhere.
Maybe sneezing on other people's keyboards is something that I should stop doing. Like, what a concept.
So, to go so far as, I mean, it's not a bad, idea. Don't touch them for like a couple days.
One of those cleaners is like $20. The what are those things called?
The sonic cleaner.
Yeah, the ultrasonic cleaner. Like $20 on Amazon. Clean a keycap set in an hour. It's super easy to use. They work really well. And you can get
the other thing you can always do, guys, for people who are bringing like lots of boards, go buy one of those like kitchen you see them at like if you go to a restaurant, like the kitchen gloves where they're kind of big. but just, hey, please grab some gloves, put them on if you want to type on my board. And then maybe even, this sounds dumb, but maybe even like provide a little trash can so that people can empty their gloves, and then sanitize. Like, it's, let's be smart in future meetups.
I kind of imagine it like you see like CDC workers with the plexiglass.
Yeah, and you like reach.
They stick their hands in. Yeah, I imagine that for keyboards.
that'd be great. I remember.
He probably says, "What about just finger condoms?"
I mean, maybe, sure.
Works.
I think they work, hopefully, but it wouldn't like putting them on. Like, I'm overthinking finger condoms.
But I get what you're saying. No, you started saying that. I was like, no, that makes perfect sense. You're not alone.
I mean, isn't that where vaccine passports come into play too? A little bit. I'm not going to go too into detail because that starts to bridge the line of.
That's no longer keyboard specific.
We're talking about politics, but I mean, feel free to think how you would like to think about vaccine meetups because anyway. I suggest be smart. I personally don't think any meetups should happen for at least another 6 months, which would put us, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So late in the fall, like maybe fall, right? September is when I really think things could maybe start opening up. I don't want to see a mega meetup this year, though.
No, KeyCon should not run this year.
Smaller meetups, limit 50 people. Sure, maybe. Mega 2,000-3,000, maybe 5,000 people coming from all over the country, if not all over the world. No, that's a bad idea.
But it's exciting. It's exciting that we're at the point where we're thinking about.
It's very out of reach. It's as out of reach as my camera, but it's Novelkeys is having one in October, so there it is. I don't, I'm the content creator and friend in me wants to go, but I work at a school with children and they don't have a vaccine for children yet, so it's like just because everybody in the room is vaccinated does not mean that you can't take the vaccine and take the virus and give it to somebody else who's not vaccinated. So I've only gotten in the hobby during quarantine, so I'm so excited to go to my first meetup. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are, and that's a fair place for a lot of people to be. Meetups are great, and all we do is talk about how awesome meetups are. The one on my list is Seattle. That's the one I've always wanted to go to. Quakems, I know, is there. Obviously, you're up there. I know a lot of good people up in the Pacific Northwest. So
it's always a really good meetup. It's really fun.
Yeah. So, but that'll wrap it up. We're going to take a look, guys. I want to say everyone who voted for the Squid 60, thank you. The Squid 60 did fall to the 7 fee. That was in no way a shock.
But it was a good fight.
It was
a really
exact hell of a run, Streaking Bison.
Nathan says wait 5 minutes, he has something.
So Nathan, we're gonna do keyboard of the week, and then I know what he's talking about, so
okay.
But let's take it. Hold on to.
Oh, I guess I'm going to recuse my submission to keyboard of the week this week.
maybe next week, Didi.
Yeah.
So, we had. I don't remember exactly where we left off. I think we got through. I'm zooming really fast and having just.
You're at the top.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so. All right, so yeah, we went through these. So we got the Canoe losing to the Tsukiyomi, the number 1 Rev 2 beating the Dalco. Dalco had a good run and put up a hell of a fight.
I had the number 1 winning that match, but I sat long and hard thinking about whether it would win because the Dalco had a lot of hype. There were not many units. It's a gorgeous board, and I thought it had a legitimate shot. But I'm not surprised that the number 1 won.
Yeah, I mean, it's a key colt. I think the key colt's going to go a little bit further. So we got the Vega beating the Infinitum, which was a little bit of, it was a shock that it beat it by so much. But as Osiris, I will say, for what Eric said, it was a not great picture of the infinitum.
I get the point of the picture. Like, the appeal of the infinitum is the bottom design. The top is it's a TKL. But I do agree that probably didn't help. I do think the Vega, though, also was one of the most exciting boards that came out in the last year. I think people really like AIO3. I think people really like the seamless screwless design. I think people like that they sold a ton of them, like thousands of them. So I'm not surprised that it took away this far with the infinitum vote.
Yeah. So what else? We had the Type Mock, the Jane V1.5 beating the Prophet pretty handedly, taking about 75% of the votes there. And then in the Constellation was winning for a long time.
That one was very close.
That was very close. Space 65 taking it. The iPhone continues to move on.
I had the Constellation winning that one. I thought the Key Cult #1 kind of side look to it would take it to the finals, or at least the semis.
Yeah, Space 65 going deep. That's what we think. Andromeda beating the Fiel. I think this is just where the 60% tray mount falls apart for the Fiel. And then we have the Vulcan Maha finally getting taken down by the E7 V2. Great picture of the E7 V2.
Yeah.
And then
LEDs shining and everything.
Of course, 7V beating the Squid yesterday by a lot. I got 867 votes. I'm happy.
That was 30%?
I think it was 30 to 31. I don't know the exact final results, but I was like, I hope I can get a quarter of the votes, and I wound up getting 31, so I was super happy. The Squid 60 sold at group buy. It sold 70 at group buy of the 7V. It sold 1,200 or something like that, like over 1,000. So I'll have both boards in this meetup or in this matchup. Hell yeah. Yeah, you can't be right. I was just the fact that, I mouse here and I see going through these, winning and just baffled.
And that was not like an easy lineup of boards. The Zenith, the Tengu, those are all competitive boards that it managed to beat.
Yeah, so very happy. Made it into the Sweet 16. So, and then the Bauer beating the Kara very handedly.
Not too surprising.
So I'm at peace with the decision. So someone said earlier, was the tournament the same duration? It's a little bit longer this year because they had more actual matchups this year. And it started a week later. So it was very different this year than from last year. So, but next week we got Bauer versus 7V. We got the #1. I hope the 7V wins now, just so I can be like, of course I lost. I lost to the winner.
Right, it was the best board. Of course it beat me.
I'm not gonna if you're gonna lose, you might as well lose to the champion.
No, I mean here's the argument for that. I would say the 7V is easily the most hyped 75% board since the Satisfaction, which won last year.
Yeah,
I think there's an argument for it.
There it is. #1 Rev 2 versus the Vega. That's a very interesting matchup because we have a similar design style of the two, but versus the #1.
Colt is going to take away that one.
But it's Key Colt. We got Space 65 versus the TGR. See, this is where I'm like, I think the space can win it. I think the space will make it a competition. Will the TGR fanboys continue to push TGR, or will the iPhone continue its domination?
I feel like the words TGR Jane are just that's easy vote for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Andromeda versus the E7 V2, which I think is, outside of the 7V and Bauer, the most interesting and closest matchup we'll see. Got two very awesome boards. Maybe the E7 V2 goes all the way. Who knows? But
that'd be crazy, but not too.
I legitimately think this is the championship right here.
You think?
I think the 7V and the Bauer 2, I think that's the championship.
I think the Bauer 2 very easily could be the winner this year.
Yeah. I could very much see, of all these, like, I don't see the Vega going past the next round. I don't see either of these getting past. Well, okay, I mean, if I think the winner of this will go past, will beat these two. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just cursing everything.
Who do y'all have winning your bracket?
I think we said the 7V.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't have it up. I forgot to like look up the Mechs on Deck one. So we had, let's see, where were we? All right, we'll go through these. GMK Pono losing to minimal, and then, well, we'll go through that.
It was close though.
Very close. Only a little over 100 votes. Dolch beating Posh. That was a pretty big stomp. Botanical destroying Night Sakura. Holy shit.
Botanical is my in it to win it. I think Botanical is going to crush its way through the finals.
Oh yeah, Botanical's a great set. Moto Light beating Shoko second style pretty handedly.
Which,
and
I don't think that was a given. I feel like Shoko has a lot of hype. I'm surprised it was as far as it was, but I'm not too surprised given Moto Light.
Yeah. Copper, kind of the dark horse here. Copper has been tearing through. So we got Honey versus EBT Kuroshiro. Kuroshiro still going through. Apollo versus Deep Navy. I was genuinely surprised that Apollo took the victory here.
I see the argument for either. I think there's a lot of people that just love their neutral looking sets, and Apollo has the space theme going for it. But Deep Navy, I feel like Deep Navy is one of those sets that's just going to look so much better in person.
Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go find Deep Navy because I'm torn because I'm like I really want it, but I'm like can I just admire it, right?
Right. That might be one of those meetup sets, right?
Yeah,
that's like I want to go see that.
I think Deep Navy is going to skyrocket in price after meetups happen. So,
I think you're right.
Nord versus Metaverse. Nord very clean, colorful, but not colorful set.
I wonder how much of the Nord hype train is because Dracula hasn't shipped yet, and people are like, that IDE theme, it looks nice and clean in that same way.
Right. We got Rudy just crushing on
I don't
through.
understand.
Rudy.
Literally the underdog of the tournament.
Exactly. Ursa, sad to see my favorite set. It's literally right here. Lose to Modern Dolch, but I mean, if you're gonna lose to anybody, lose to Modern Dolch.
It's the same thing you were saying about the 7V. If I'm going to lose, at least let me lose to someone who could easily win this competition.
Yeah, don't like it's rip Ursa. Sorry about you, Nathan. Great set. Cat Mizu versus Redline. Sadly, Cat Mizu. I think it's just Mizu at this point.
Yes.
But
yep.
yeah, Moto, good set to go out to, absolutely. Bleached versus Amethyst. This is where we start seeing the less the clean black on white sets are great, but eventually you're going to get stomped by something that's blue or purple.
You gotta have something interesting to keep going.
Speaking of blue and purple, GMK Taro tearing on through, beating SA Dual Shot. Props to SA Dual Shot and SA set getting far. Well done. GMK Darling beating Redacted. Man, Omnitype, I'm sorry, man. You had a tough
little bracket there.
tough bracket right here. Hall U losing to Hammer CRP. And then 8,008.
That one was kind of surprising, honestly. Like,
GMK
doesn't do well usually.
Yeah, the fact that a GMK set. Well, it's been an 8008-2 and a massive stomping of the Hammerhead. 8008-2 predicted to go far this week. All right, can I hold on. I have to mouse over some stuff. We're going to resize because Scuff Stream, baby. Oh my God.
I don't like seeing my face 3 times because I also have the Discord call plus the 2 on the screen.
There we go. We're just moving on over. Okay. So we've got minimal round 2 again. Black on white will only get you so far. Losing to OG Dolch, R5 Dolch. Botanical beating Moto Light, which I thought last year I said Moto Light might win the whole tournament, but Botanical coming in hot.
I'm saying Botanical is going to stomp this whole tournament. That is a massive margin for set going up against Moto Light.
Stomping Moto Light. Like, absolutely stomping. Omni-type, what are you going to do? You got 2 sets. Your children are fighting. Copper losing to EPBT Kuroshiro. EPBT making it far.
Yep.
And a very...
I think EPBT, especially this next year, we're going to see it get closer to the GMK levels in the competition.
Absolutely. GMK Apollo beating Nord. So the run of Nord, maybe people, they start getting excited, like, ooh, something that's Dracula, but like it's actually, it might come, and then they're like, oh wait, no, now I'm mad about Dracula.
there was a piece of news. Someone just realized it's been a while.
So. And then the underdog losing by a mere
Barely.
15 votes. Almost as close as the Squid beating the Tengu.
Crazy.
Modern Dolch taking it with exactly 1,400 votes. And then, of course, Kat Mizu coming in against Amethyst. We got Taro beating Darling. That was closer than I thought.
That was closer than I thought, too. I think Taro is my other pick for, like, going all the way here. Yeah. I think Taro is a beautiful set.
I think Taro Botanical are on the opposite sides, so I think we could see Taro Botanical finals.
That is my final matchup.
We've got a very tough matchup. 8008 stomping Hammer CRP by a 622 votes. So we got some fun matchups. We'll just go back up. Yeah. Taro 8008 too. That's anyone's game.
I agree.
That is anyone's vote.
That's just how people are feeling that day.
Yeah, like you've got Omni Type versus Novel Keys. Like they're both, it's knockdown, drag out. Modern Dolch versus Mizu, another great matchup. I think GMK might be the outlier here. It might be the variable that pushes on through.
It's interesting because it's a round 2 versus a kind of round 2. Like, you've got Moto round 2 versus a different profile Mizu. And I feel like for Mizu, it actually comes down to picture, because Cat Mizu had so many different colorways, and I think the picture is really going to make a big impact here for both of these.
Yeah, absolutely. And then moving up, Apollo versus Kuroshiro. It's funny that these are the ones that are...
I didn't see Apollo making it this far, to be honest.
Yeah,
I thought Apollo was a cool set, but I didn't see it making it so far. I feel like Kuroshiro has this one.
I think Kuroshiro does too, but it is a moot point because I think Botanical is just going... Dolce, I think, can put up a good fight, but I think both of these sets stomp either of these sets.
I was going to say the same thing. I think that top bracket, whoever wins that one is winning out of those 4. Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
So, guys, go follow Mech Madness on GMK. On Instagram, mech.madness. Make sure you're going and voting. I love that we're seeing more and more votes as we get through each round. So it's just super awesome to see. And check out Tight Beast because he's the one that's running this. Frothy KK, thank you for the 23 months. We're almost there, dude. We are almost there, Frothy KK. So
we both said no longer $79 base kit on Canon keys.
Just had to because DD's. I mean, it was, in my opinion, one of the most successful ad campaigns that I've ever seen. All thanks to Keep Noob. So,
I don't even know if I can call it the most successful. It was definitely one of the most aggressive.
Yeah, it definitely was the most aggressive. So we are. I have been sent some pictures apparently.
I hope this is what I think it is. But
it is. It 100% is. Oh my god.
I'm excited.
All right, hold on. I have to. All right, guys, I've got some leaks. Okay.
So excited.
I can't say what the set is. It's a secret set. But Nathan Alphaman again with the renders has rendered up the Baka 40.
Yes.
So let's go. Hold on. Let's go back to where is it?
I also thought that's what it was going to be.
So
Oh, it is.
this is the
no.
Baka 40. It's got just the tiniest little handle.
It's so beautiful.
It's just the tiniest little handle. If you guys are interested, this is the layout. It's
beautiful.
It's
perfect.
It exists. It's a thing. It looks really clean. God.
I think it does I mean, it's your design at the end of the day, but I think it does the Baka design so well for a 40%, like with the blockers and the symmetry.
When you look at that, from the top down, it's just like a wind keyless. But when you look at it as a whole, you're like, yeah, it's a Baka. Like, it's just a tiny Baka. Like, yeah, that. Oh, man. All right. Well, now it's actually.
Also, honestly, if it doesn't come in that color, I might try to get it Sarah.
Right. Well, I'm putting EPBT aesthetic on mine. So dual 3 nation.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. So there is your hot leaks. I'll wait to show off the weight because the weight is fucking hilarious. How big it is. So the Rick, this is 100% like you. I didn't want to say it was you because I didn't want to like, I don't know, just talk about it. And I didn't want. This is 100% the Rick. The Rick came in with just a meme of an idea, and then Blind kind of took it from there. And Blind can make whatever render he wants. It's it's part of his board. It's the issue is you can't, neither of us can run the board without the other's permission. And then he was kind of like, hey bud, like maybe, and it's like, God damn it, all right. So,
Chewy messaged me like halfway through the day and was like, I blame you for all of this. I was like, I did not bring this up. I did not start this, believe it or not. So
you didn't start
don't look
it.
At me.
You didn't start it, but you're sure as hell gonna finish it. So let me scroll up. I gotta find where we left off last week. All right. So let's go back to screen share. We are doing keyboard of the week. It is Artisan April. Tomorrow we have Frumpskis coming on to talk. We were going to have Terabyte, but she had a work thing come up, but she's still giving away a cap. And we're looking to either fill the next spot or maybe we'll bring on like an artisan master, someone who's definitely like super into artisans. So we've got, this is the, why did I just go completely blank on the name of this board? Thermal, thank you. Yep. Thermal, GMK Ursa. Do we have any names? This is from Mech Mauler. I have no idea what these caps are. That looks like a Latrialum.
The top right ones are GSKs, and I think the bottom right is a Latrialum.
Latrialum. So excellent choice of, you're definitely pandering, and I love it. I'm all about it. So Thermal really run by Rama and Wilba. So awesome set there. I'm like super, when I lean back in this, because this is like what I do for builds, so when I lean back I'm like super out of frame. I'm like super far to the side. They might be the camping colorway. They could be, what's the other one that was like kind of Wild? Maybe they're GMK Wild.
I also like the use of the I know it's Artisan April, but the novelties on the bottom row I think look really good. I think like normally when you have this many artisans and novelties, I tend to find it busy, but I actually really like the way everything looks.
This looks great. This looks fantastic. So next up, we have got, what is this board, Didi?
That is the Prime E.
There it is.
Oh, that's a Prime Elise, actually.
Prime Elise Polycarb with brass, a very thick brass plate. Got GMK Coral. So Primal Lease with Lividity, Moses, Liberty, Latrialum, Christmas Cap, GMK Coral, brass plate. So Lividity and Latrialum, double L's. I love that you're using it in the B spot. Excellent.
Smart use of that.
Smart use.
Also, they look very coral with the
Yeah.
whole thing. I don't know if those are coral colorway artisans, but
Lividity,
they definitely work like
Moses, Liberty, I believe that's copper, but it works.
Yeah.
So, and it matches the artisans match.
Oh, and Latrialum Christmas Cap. So no, neither of them are actual coral collabs, but they look really good in the coral colorway.
Yeah, excellent board. Love it. Next up, we've got... Nope, we're skipping that one.
Nope, that one's disgusting.
No, this is... I'll show it off, but we'll show it off and for a brief moment, talk about your board. This will not be in the running tonight because obviously one of the hosts is impartial.
I think it's disgusting.
But we'll post this again and we'll talk about it more next week. But talk about your board.
Yeah, this is my Equinox Rose Gold with a custom PCB by NASP because I'm on that ortho with the staggered bottom row tray, and it's the Meetups set. It doesn't have great caps for those top left, top right spots, so I just figured I'd use Artisans there, and I think those Fugus actually work really well with the colors of the caps. So I'm very happy with that one.
Yeah, solid board. I love when the rose gold is borderline white.
Yeah, because that is rose gold, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise it's just pink.
Yeah, otherwise it's just pink or orange. So we've got an HHKB professional with some high pro caps. And the Bull Artisan by, was that Art Key? Yeah. Art Key, some Bulls. I love the matchy. I love the desk mat. Like, this is solid.
I love some Topper Artisans. We don't get many of
right?
those.
We don't have too... I imagine you do the sliders on that. But
some of them are either Topper stems or they have TMX, which will work on either Topper or MX stems. I don't know what these are, but they're way less common, obviously, than MX. So it's really, really cool to see those.
I don't know if I've ever seen HHKB with Artisans, so props.
Super nice.
Next up, I love it, Static the Body. He does say, maybe it won't count this week, but I do love this little Skeletor with, God, what's that set? That's Metolet.
That is Metolet.
But the Skeletor cap with the Skeletor Funko.
They just work so... I mean...
It's great.
They should work well together, but
because,
they actually do. And
it looks cool. Great. It looks fantastic. So next up, we got Jeff Leopard with the Gaff. Was this the OG TPV2 Rev 6 on a Navy Austin?
I feel like gaff caps are almost cheating. They just look so cool.
Yeah, these are insane. Don't have a picture of the whole board, but if you know what an Austin looks like, it's a big ass board, heavy ass board. So love it. Love that. You know, it's on a clean set. This EPBT Kuroshiro. So I bet this board looks great, and the fact that you've thrown a cap that's probably worth more than the board on it. Props.
Also in a very cool spot because it's not escape where you would normally see it, but it works so perfectly.
Right. It just sits. It's like it's centered.
Exactly.
So GMK Cafe Chimera with a Cafe Latrialum. What else do we got? Sorry, I'm going back and forth. A Caffeine Pora and a Pan Kibi. So very cute. Love. This is one of the of the 65% that I don't like and won't use. I love when they have the separated out column and arrow keys, and the fact that it's kind of like with the Alice style boards.
Yeah,
like you have your little.
It's a very
column.
Separate artisan cluster.
Yeah. So excellent excellent work here. I love. I'm a sucker for GMK Cafe. Obviously, my GMK Cafe build finally going to be building it this Saturday. So excited. A Dimple. Infinity Cafe, the other cafe, with a little appa. Cute.
Those kappas are so cute.
I love the little kappa appa.
Also, it looks like it's trying to drink the coffee.
Yep.
Which
that's.
really
I didn't
adorable.
even think about that. Oh, well, good point out. Well done. Love that. Next up, we've got the Corvus Etcher with GMK bleached on a Squid 60.
Oof,
and Cole Kraba's watching
that is
on.
such a clean look. I love Corvuses. They're one of my favorite sculpts. I've never seen this one, but that's super cool with like the translucency, and I think it just looks really good on that board.
Yeah, this is super duper clean. Bleached came out really well. I'm gonna call. Okay, if I said use, my apologies. I will use a 65%. I will not purchase a 65%, nor will I design a 65%. Sup, Chusters?
You probably won't use the 65 if you've got options.
Yes, I mean a Bauer sits 8 feet away from me all day long, and I very rarely use it. So if I don't use it, I just type on it for like 10 seconds. Here we go, another Austin Cafe. We got some Sodi caps. We'll be having her on later this week. What else do we have here? Got the E-White Austin V2 with let's see, Artisans Dread Keys, bottom to top. Dread Keys Cinnamon Bun Wormhole, Sodi caps Iced Coffee Jam, Sodi caps Iced Coffee Blank, and a Hephaestus Oda Cappuccino. These are sick.
You know, usually when I see like a bunch of different sculpts, even in the same colorway together, I sometimes think like this doesn't quite work. But here, like that column works really well. Those artisans actually all work really well together, and it's just an extension of what we were saying with Jeff Leopard's board earlier, where it's like, man, that little area was so perfect for those artisans to go. That looks amazing.
Oh yeah, this, and I like that. Like, I enjoy just the positioning because this kind of hits this color, so you're not putting, you know, the color that's supposed to kind of match. I'm not trying to, that's not a slight at Sodi caps. It's very hard, I imagine, to match a cap perfectly. But these three kind of match more. And then these all kind of tie in. It's kind of playing some fun games. I also like the picture. You got some coffee beans down there with the stained disc mat.
Very nicely put together shot.
Color matching is hard, just so everyone knows. Exactly. Exactly. And then we've got just a few more. This is from Keeb Noob. Oof. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm going to point out the ones that I do know. I know that this is a bongo cat. We've got a couple Ursa bears. Not Ursa bears.
See a GTB. I see a couple JAKs.
This is Sodi caps, the Pikachu cap. We've got, I want to say this is Terabyte caps. We've got some Keywork, the Cheshire cat.
Systematic. Yeah. Oh, and there's a Hellbent.
Little Hellbent down here. Damn, you got everything. We got nightcaps right here. This is, oh.
And what a nice gradient.
Right, like, and you got the rainbows poking through. She said she's got, this is, I believe, taken in her bathroom. And she's got these, like, prisms, so when the sun hits at a certain time, it turns the whole bathroom rainbow. So, solid entry. Next up, we've got a lot. Ursa. Ooh. And the bears. We've got an Ursa bear there as well.
So many ambassadors.
Do you like the ambassador cap, Iwane? I mean, I just didn't know. You seem like you do. So, lots and lots of bears. I love this. I love the wrist rest. I think that's so clean.
Yeah, I think that's the Dia de los Muertos, not the Dos Muertos bongo in the middle.
No, we got a bongo, really another, nice. I guess, a taro type bongo, some latrialum in there, like another bongo over here. This is
big flex.
Clean. Love this board. This looks to be the Evolve prototype, if I am not mistaken, with Ursa.
I see that 1.5U shift, so it is definitely that.
Yep. So, very clean. Very, very clean. Next up, what is this? A Prime Elise with Okamochis and a brass plate. Little cute heart. I love this.
That Okamochi is adorable.
This is just clean. Very, very clean. Love. Sometimes you only need one. Remember, guys. Sometimes just one.
Simple is good sometimes.
So we've got a plank next. Let's see. I guess with the Lego is the Artisan. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a very.
You see the message in the keycaps?
Oh, do I? Yeah. Kebnub. I love it.
Vote
Vote
Keeb
Keeb Noob. Okay. Well done. Danny Lou. Respect. All right. One that I'm sure Eric is upset that he is not here for because I know he would have voted for this one. We've got lots of bad luck caps.
That looks really cool as a numpad.
We're going to say this is the picture. It shows off a little more of the board. Oof. Oof.
I will say
Violet
I
on
kind
cream.
of wish the one on Escape was on the period in the numpad.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little touch.
I really love this photo.
Yeah, that's clean. That's clean. Good. Nice one, Mr. Hellbent. And last up, we've got, what is this? Marshmallow on FR4. Or that's the fuck, of course. Those are the caps or the switches. I don't actually know what Artisan this is. This looks like. Is this the one?
I recognize it, but I can't tell you.
Is this the one like the Saul? Okay, Cornelius.
No, it's not the Saul one.
Okay, I was like, it look because it kind of like it looks like
We've
it
been
might
scarred by that.
Apparently, goth caps don't know the sculpts. I don't care the sculpt. Jinly Queen, you don't care. Kidding. So there we have
that's
it.
Correct for Cornelius.
There we have it. What are you choosing? I'm gonna let you choose first. So I'm gonna.
Okay. So are we limiting it to you need at least 2 artisans? Was that
we talked about that last week, which I think only cuts out
a few,
two or three. I want to, we talked about that, but we can open it back up. So if you do have one where you just want to pick the one artisan, we'll open it back up. But thank you guys for going. I know the ones that I want to pick have more than one.
Okay, that's fine. My first choice, if I'm going first, has more than one anyways. I'm taking Keeb Noobs. That gradient, I usually am not a fan of gradients unless you've got the same sculpt and like the same, maker, because I like how uniform that looks. Because I feel like it sometimes gets chaotic, but I think this gradient looks so cool. I love the prisms bouncing off the board. I love that everything else is very neutral and lets the artisans really, really stand out.
Yeah.
It's a flex and a half.
Absolutely. And I'm going to choose Iwane's Evolve, the Ursa Bear Evolve. Not Ursa Bear. I mean, okay, to be fair, it could be called the Ursa Bear Evolve. Because it's Ursa. It's got GMK Ursa on it. It does have a GMK Ursa ambassador on it. So give me 1 second. I will... Let's go here because I've got to set up. I have to set up the poll real quick.
Secretly, I hosted this week so that I didn't have to go up against Keeb Noobs.
That's you were planning it all along. I love it.
Canon, yeah.
So let's do because it's an SM. It's an SM keyboard. We'll just call it Rainbow Alice. And then we're going to go Evolve Ursa Ambassador. I was like, how do you spell ambassador? I'm like, that's not a real word, so it doesn't matter. So it's only going to be up for 3 minutes, so make sure you guys are voting, and the voting has started. So I will pull both of these up.
IMEURU asked if I have a power supply over my shoulder. I think he's talking about this, and this is the amp for my record player.
Yeah.
Be a hell of a power supply.
That would be quite the power supply. So we got the SM Keyboards Alice. It's meant to match 808 Boom. We've also got the Evolve with Ursa. So get your votes in. It's going to be at the top of chat. Let's go through a quick sponsor roll. So first and foremost, sorry, I got to switch to my little things here. We got Omni Typewriting GMK Blurple right now, so be sure to go check out GMK Blurple. We're going to go through mechsondeck.project.link at project.keyboards, DCS Delftware. Great set. Love these sub-legends on it. Very, very unique.
Sub-legends.
Very unique. So that's going to be running for about we're about halfway through this. April 30th is when it's going to wrap up there. Next up, we've got Canon keys. We've got G&K Fuji going right now. I know we're missing ePBT aesthetic on this, but they've also got some cool stuffs on there.
The world's smallest vaporwave playing right now.
PBT Honeywell Bold still up. The Fuji desk mat's up. Dark Amber T1 switches. And I know, oh man, I just went blank on the set that they announced for later this month. And that's going to drive me crazy. But it's not out yet, but keep an eye up. We'll let you know what is coming up next. And then Kinetic Labs. You can go to kineticlabs.store/Mechs on deck. They've got lots of lube, and they've got some switches, some keycaps, some storage containers, all that awesome stuff you can check out over there. And then after that, we've got our awesome partners with Zap Cables. So you can get there's some awesome desk mats over here. We've got cables that you can you can get a multimeter, which is just probably not a bad tool to have in general. And then, you know, they've got these cables that you can get right now. They're really, really cool. So next up, you can go to typebea.st. It's super duper easy. Boom, you just enter in your email right there, and you can get subscribed to an amazing newsletter. He also is running Mech Madness 2021, so make sure you go to mech.madness on Instagram and give them a follow. Next up on the list, smithrune.com. We've got the Iron 165 proudly displayed here. The Iron 180, I'm sure extras will come out later this year, as well as what we confirmed a few weeks ago of the Iron 165 polycarbonate edition showing up later this year as an in-stock group buy. And not even a group buy, that's just an in-stock sale. And then next up, and last but not least, we have 3D Keeps. If you need some stabs, you need switches. If you no longer want the polycarbonate, $60 and some awesome desk mats, be sure to go check that out there. So let's switch back. We have a victor. The Rainbow Alice won.
Ran away with it.
77% of the votes going to, so we had 20-6. Congratulations, Keebnu. Well done. You took a great picture. Congratulations to everyone. Take some different pictures of your boards. Post them again. It's, you know, we can keep going. We want to encourage you all to continue to post these pictures, continue to post these artisans. It's such a great, the artisans is such a cool part of this. Like, it's like it's such an interest. It's not even, because I don't want to call it a sub part of this community, because it's not below. It's the same
aspect.
It's a different aspect of this community. It's
right.
Super awesome. Congratulations, Keebnoob, on winning. But other than that, guys, tomorrow we have Frumpskis coming on 8 p.m. Osiris will be back. Eric is. I hope Eric has enjoyed his day off. Maybe sometimes it's fun to step back and watch the show, like when Eric and Lang will be on here. Sometimes sometimes it's nice to take a step back and just go. I get to watch something. So sub-partisan, I love it. I love it. And as Artisan April rolls on, and then Saturday I will be rebuilding for like the third time now my OSA. I've got it Cerakoted in a nice fun cafe theme, so very excited to get that built. Also excited just to type on that board, because it's a board I haven't typed on in months. So and Dededecline, thank you. What's coming up for you this week?
Absolutely. You know, my stream is kind of on an unofficial hiatus at the moment. I have some stuff I need to do in my personal life. The big thing coming up, though, that I will be planning in the next couple weeks, keep an eye out for, I'm going to be raffling away a whole keyboard by Trashman. All proceeds are going to the American Society for Suicide Prevention. I hope I got the name exactly right, but that will be very exciting. Stay tuned to my stream, my Discord, for updates on that. That is the big thing I have going on.
Very nice, very nice. So I am going to Who is Live. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Who do we have? We got Mech Merlin just started, and you know, we haven't rated Tiny in a long ass time. So we're gonna probably raid Tiny. So, as Eric says, because I love that he says it, we are going to close up shop for the night, guys. Make sure to hit up Tiny. Let her know that she makes some awesome artisans. So I'm going to start the raid there. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Have a good evening.